Robyn and I had an engagement picture taken, and it was really, really special to me. I wanted to take the idea and get really, really creative with it and have it painted.
Okay, you guys, I am really starting to feel like they are messing with us. There was no reason for them to have a painting made of an engagement photo from that long ago, but here we are, and I can't help but think this is just because there's not that much left to talk about on the show. But before I go any further, let me introduce myself. My name is Brittany. This is Happily Ever Reality, and it's a channel I started to talk about my favorite reality shows. Sister Wives is one of my absolute favorite, and today we're talking about season 20, episode 6, and it's titled, We're Not Brother Husbands. I held off on recapping this one because I feel like this episode was just all over the place. If I really had to sum it up quickly, it would be they're closer to selling Coyote Pass. Kody and Robyn are still moving. Janelle is still living in North Carolina. Meri is putting an office in her house. And Christine is just doing whatever it takes to have a storyline at this point. I mean, that to me sums up most of it. And it feels that way. The storyline issue with Christine, it does feel that way with Kody and Meri as well. I was just thrown off a little bit on the way the whole thing with Christine and David went in this episode. But let's start off with Kody and Robyn. One of the first things that we see in this episode is them unpacking, and we get to see the crystal. And I'm going to go ahead and throw the clip in here.
Hey, get the crystal out.
Well, I need to put it into the China hutch.
Nice.
You might be wondering why I chose to put that clip in this video. And that's a great question. I literally have no idea. I also wondered why it was on the show. What are they trying to give us with that? And here's the thing, you know they were filming that day and they told Kody and Robyn, well, they didn't have to tell them that at this point. Kody and Robyn know they have to have stuff that's going to be put on the show. So this is them acting natural, which is fine. Cody's like, what are you doing? She says she's putting the crystal away. But why did they choose to give us that? I can't help but think it's because they want to show how Kody and Robyn are spending money. We're going to see the painting situation. Now we're seeing the crystal. We're going to see the dolls in the background. I can't help but think they're trying to let us see how Kody and Robyn spend money. We're even seeing their house. We see how big it is. We know they're doing well financially, and that is not the case for the original wives. So I think this is done intentional. You guys can let me know if you thought it was weird too. I just thought it was a weird little thing for them to put in the show. But let's go ahead and keep going. So Kody and Robyn sit down and talk, and we find out there have been some offers on like 2 of the lots out at Coyote Pass. They're hoping that they will be able to sell them all. We also know, based on the last episode, Kody is finally taking this seriously because now he has this mortgage that he has to pay, and he needs some cash to keep this house that they're moving into. There was a moment in here where Kody talks about how they're going to be moving in for a while. Yeah, they're going to be moving in for a while. And I just thought about the last episode and all of those totes that he had in the garage. And it was all stuff from the homes of the other wives. And I talked about this. Why did they do that? Like, why did they take them to this new house? Yeah, if that is the way they handle moving, they're going to be moving for a long time. Oh, there's one more clip I have to put in here, and this relates to Coyote Pass. Kody is talking about how this is a very emotional thing for Robyn. And we know that's true. She is having a hard time letting go of the property. But I want you guys to hear this. I'm sure you've already watched the episode, so you heard it already, but man, let's watch it again because it's almost laughable. Here's the clip.
Robyn's a very special person who feels very deeply.
I have to tell you, I actually laughed when I heard him say that the first time I watched it. There's just something about it that's so ridiculous. He absolutely thinks she feels more than the other 3 wives did. No, she doesn't. He just wasn't around enough to actually see it or understand how they felt. He's with Robyn. And yes, we know she's sort of a crier. We can debate whether or not it's real crying or not, but she does cry a lot. That doesn't mean that no one else is feeling anything. Not everyone is going to fake cry the way she does.
And Robyn's not one of these people to shuck off a feeling. She feels it, and she sits in that feeling.
Well, she needs to quit doing that because it is dragging things on for ages, and quite frankly, it's kind of getting a bit old. And I just want to talk about Meri for a minute. I'm going to bring her into this. That woman felt love and loyalty to you for ages, way longer than she really should have. And she sat in those feelings, and you did absolutely nothing. And you didn't think she was special for it. Yeah, that's all I'm saying. He prefers Robyn. That's all there is to it. Robyn doesn't feel more. Everyone felt stuff. But her crying about Coyote Pass and it being sold to me is just wild at this point. Specifically when she is in this massive house that she is in. It feels like she won in the end. Get rid of the property that doesn't have anything on it. Get this huge house. I mean, they never lived in a house as nice as, the whole family, the original wives. They were never in a house that nice. And now it's like Robyn has leveled up and she's still crying about Coyote Pass. I would let that go. That's all I'm saying. I'm sure some of you are going to disagree with that, but I think Robyn, she may have wanted sister wives, but she just wanted sister wives to feel like she was number one. I don't think she was really a team player. I think she, in the end, might have not gotten exactly what she wanted, but she still came out ahead, so she needs to quit crying. Now, I know someone is going to come along and say that I'm being too hard on Robyn, so I'm going to side with her for a second. There is a clip where she talks about Kody being fair with selling the property. I'm going to put the clip in so you guys can hear it, but I think she is telling the truth here.
Like, I'm going to make sure, if I have any say over this, I'm going to make sure this is fair.
And I think she's telling the truth there. I think when it comes to things that we can look at and there's numbers and we can see if it was fair or unfair, she's going to say they should be fair. I think it's other times when we're not able to really quantify it that she will be unfair. When things can be hidden, that's when she will be unfair. But if it's something we can look at and go, okay, that's clearly not worked out well for everyone, then I think she's going to push for Kody to divide things equally. I think it's really a matter of her trying to protect their reputations and then her own individually, right? Like, she needs to appear to be a good sister wife because that is what she said she wanted the whole time. So she needs to make sure this property is divided up fairly. Of course, we don't just get to hear what Robyn thinks. Kody gets to throw in his 10 cents. And you guys, he is very worried that Meri and Janelle are going to come back later and ask for more money. And I think there's two reasons for that. I think number one, that's because he is that way. He is greedy and he expects everyone else to be like that. But I also think he fears that they will realize they probably should have gotten more. That if it was really fair, they would have been entitled to money when the house was sold, when Robyn's house was sold, and they're not getting any of that. I think he worries they're going to come for the money they probably really deserve. But I don't think that's the case. I think they know how he is. They're going to try to get what they can, and then they're going to want to be done with him. They express that over and over on the show, and I think they mean it. Do they deserve more? Yes. But come on, there's a point where you're willing to give up some money to get rid of Kody. It sounds worth it to me. So here is the clip of him talking about them wanting more so that you guys can hear it.
You know, the two of them wanting more, something more, more is always a concern, potentially.
Yeah, when these women are done with him, these women, I mean Meri, Janelle, and Christine, there's not going to be a lot of a show left. And Kody is dependent on the money from this. So when he's talking about them wanting more, he really should hope they want something to do with him in some capacity, even though I don't think they will, because I don't know what his future looks like if he is not on this show. Jumping a little bit forward, we do find out that some women have been contacting Kody, writing him letters. I was interested in that in itself. Are people really writing letters, like handwriting him letters? Can you imagine doing that? If you are handwriting this man letters, I need you to let me know down in the comments, and we will, if you would like to explain that to all of us, I would love to hear about it. you can send me a message. I would definitely love to do a video about writing him letters. I need to know what you're saying, okay? But supposedly there are some women messaging him or contacting him about reconsidering polygamy. They want him to consider them as a sister wife. We find out that Robyn has also heard about it and actually got to see a photo of a woman who's interested, and Robyn says she's kind of cute. You guys, that's wild. That's absolutely wild to me. Who is doing this? I'm telling you, if you are, you need to let me know down in the comments. Listen, I think there was a time Kody had a great personality. I really do. And I think on a good day, he probably could still be a person who's nice to talk to when he's calm. But you guys, we've seen the way he handles multiple wives. Why would you subject yourself to that? I can't even imagine. I don't know that I believe they're taking it seriously. Though I will say there is a part of me that thought when Robyn was talking about it that she would consider it. I think if Kody came to her and was like, yeah, I really want us to think about it again, I think she might. But I think Kody knows he can't handle it. I think he's bringing it up for the show. There is this part of me that thinks Robyn might consider letting him court someone. That's my thoughts, at least at this point. You guys can let me know what you think. But I do think they're needing a storyline here, right? It's only going to be so interesting watching them move into a house, and then it's going to get old really fast. They're going to have to keep something up. Do you guys think it'll be another sister wife? I mean, I'd watch it, of course. But I don't know. I think we're grasping here for things with Kody and Robyn. Of course, you guys, we were not going to move on from Kody and Robyn without talking about that painting. You cannot tell me that he came up with this idea all on his own. Absolutely not. And no, I don't think Robyn did it. I think it was social media. People have been talking about this engagement photo again. It was in Christine's book. It's been brought up. And so now he's going to lean into it. He's going to say he loves it and make it the biggest painting in their house. I don't actually know that it's the biggest painting in their house because it was pretty darn big. And all I kept thinking was there's not a better thing to have painted. There's not a family photo. There's not just a normal photo of the two of you. Literally the one with the car in it is the best one. Nah, you guys, this is because it's been being talked about again. This is because of Christine's book. This is all of that. Like, I think people have been, even though the book came out later, this engagement photo has been being discussed, I feel like the last 2 seasons. If you're on social media, people have been discussing whether or not it was appropriate, whether or not it should have been done, that it was posted, I guess, on the photographer's website. There's been a lot of gossip about it. You cannot tell me that it's just a coincidence that Kody has made this into a large painting in his new home. That's all I'm saying. There is one more thing I want to throw in here when it comes to Kody and Robyn, and that was when he was discussing having a sister wife. And then he talked about what it was like when he fell in love with Robyn and how Christine responded. Here is the clip.
It wasn't ridiculous when Robyn and I fell in love. But guess what? It made everything else ridiculous. I mean, Robyn and I falling in love made Christine ridiculous because Christine did not handle that experience well.
And rightfully so. There was already so much wrong with the marriage they had, and then there comes a new woman. Of course she didn't handle it well. Of course she didn't. What does he expect? And then he brings it up in this episode, in this season. Nah, he should have let it go. He wants them to not talk about him, and here he is talking about Christine when it's not necessary. But there's one more clip I want to put in. I completely forgot about this until I went to get that clip. You guys, what did you think of Robyn's comments about married men?
When a young woman sees a married, stable man, that is attractive. You know, he's figured out some of his bullcrap.
I'm just going to have to tell you guys, this is just not an experience I've ever had. I don't understand it. I don't know what she's talking about. I don't know if this is the culture she grew up in with seeing polygamy, it was appropriate to see married men and think, oh, that's a person that I might want to be with. But this is just something I cannot relate to at all. Yeah, I couldn't leave that out. It was kind of bold of her to say it, considering they're not in that culture anymore. That's not their world. It's been years since they've been involved in the church they were with. It feels like her mindset should have moved on a little bit. And I understand she is talking about women who want to be sister wives, so she's sort of referencing that, but she doesn't actually say that. She just says to a young woman. Yeah, that I never had that mindset. So let's move on to Christine and David. This one was a little bit weird for me. We see them out at dinner, and Christine is really pushing for David and Kody to spend time together. I found the whole thing to be super bizarre. It definitely felt like something that was just being brought up for the show. You know, if they spend time together, then that'll be something that can be in another episode this season. But it didn't feel natural, specifically when we know that Christine doesn't even want to spend time with them. So why would she encourage David to do it? And David didn't really seem that interested. I really, really liked when Christine said that Kody is a good guy, and David was like, nah, no, he's not a good dad. He wasn't a good husband. He's not a good guy. I really appreciated that David didn't just go along with what she was saying, and he wasn't really mean. He could have said worse. It was just like, nah, not really a good guy to me. I was like, that's how we all feel too, David, and this feels really odd. The one part of this that I felt was very sincere, and I can't relate to it because I've never been a polygamist, but if I was, I think I would feel the same way once I got out of the relationship. She said when she reflects on it, she realizes she was always keeping score, and she would really, really focus on Kody. I think I would have been the same way. I would have been looking to see, am I being treated fairly? Who's getting more? Am I getting less? Are their kids getting more? Or mine getting less? Like, I would have been doing that whether or not I wanted to. And she says she's embarrassed by it now. I will say when there is a confessional with Janelle, she says that she didn't feel like she had time to do that. But, you know, Janelle was working outside of the home, and I wonder if that played a role in it. You know, she was away from the house, so she wasn't thinking about it as often as Christine was. There's a little bit more chit chat between Christine and David. They talk about, you know, whether or not Kody ever used the wrong wife's name. Christine said he really didn't. He was pretty good at using the right name. They talk about a time she got mad at David and called him Kody, and one time he called her the wrong name, and they have a sense of humor about it. They seem to get along very well. There is a part, though, where Christine talks about how she felt betrayed by Robyn. She said she would tell Robyn things, and then Robyn would go tell Kody.
I felt like I could never really trust her, ever. You know, there's things I confided in her, and then she would tell Kody, and I'd get in trouble. I couldn't trust her.
Robyn and Kody both have responses to this in confessionals. Kody says that Robyn was trying to advocate for Christine, and Robyn admits that she was trying to help, but she should have just stayed out of it. I have no idea how I feel about that. I don't know if Robyn was really trying to help, or if she just was trying to get on Kody's good side by sharing things with him that was said in confidence. I don't know. I don't know what to think about it. You guys can let me know what you think. Was Robyn trying to help? Was there a time you think Robyn was trying to help the family out? Or do you think she was always just going back to Kody, sort of acting as a minion, getting information for him? I don't know. I don't know. There's a part of me that sees Robyn, and I think she wanted to be the person that came in and saved the family, so she was the number one wife. So maybe she did, but I don't know. Because there's other times I'm like, she knew that he wasn't spending time with the other women. There's one more thing I want to throw in here when it comes to David and Christine, and that is the part where Kody was in a confessional and he talked about how he should have been more involved in the decision to have David in Truly's life. I'm like, dude, are you kidding me? Do you know what this kid is doing any day of the week? Like, ever? How involved is he in Truly's life on a day-to-day basis? on a week-to-week, month-to-month? How involved is Kody? Anyone else could have helped make the decision besides him, and I think it would have been a better choice. Anyway, I'm going to put the clip in. I'm sure you guys know exactly what I'm talking about.
My daughter lives in David's house. I should know David.
Did you guys notice how he said, my daughter? I feel like he's grasping at the remaining kids now because he's lost so many. And honestly, if Kody had had regular visitation with Truly, if he had been in communication with Christine regularly, he probably could have been more involved. He probably could have expressed that he was worried or concerned. But when you don't see your kids for long periods of time, when the communication isn't good, when you don't know personal things about them, it's going to be difficult just to get involved only when your ex is dating. He should have worried about that before. If you guys think back to that, do you remember when Christine was saying that she was leaving him and he was worried about a man getting with her and wanting money? He should have been worried about a man getting with her and what it would be like for Truly. I don't know if he's just now realizing that and he's regretting that he didn't do more in the beginning, but everyone seems to like David, so I feel like Christine must have made a good choice.
Yeah, that should be something. I should know him. I should have the right, should have had the right even to discriminate David.
Nah, that's a no from me, unless there was a reason where he felt like Truly was not going to be okay, or the kids were not going to be taken care of or treated well. Quite frankly, I don't know that Kody gets to say a whole lot. He had 4 wives. So I don't know. I just don't feel like he gets to have a lot of opinions about it outside of looking out for Truly. And I feel like Christine's kids are probably going to be a better judge of whether or not David is a good person because they're around him more and they seem to all like him. And the last thing that I want to talk about is that Zoom call. Man, was it awkward, and boy, did I love it. I loved that they did not pander to him. I love that Meri was not flirtatious. I love that Janelle wasn't her normal friendly self. I mean, she was still nice, but a little bit cooler. And I loved it. I love that they set boundaries. I love that they're not pretending. It feels like they are ready for business. They're like, what's happening with Coyote Pass? We are not your friends. And I'm like, that is what I want. That is the energy that needed to happen. And I'm glad Kody felt like it was weird. Good. Feel like it's weird, Kody. Because they want you to sell the property and they want to move on from you. They are done with you. So I loved it. Yeah. I also appreciate that Meri and Janelle don't really trust him. They're both skeptical. And they should be. Because he admitted that until he got this new house, he wasn't even really serious about selling it. We have been watching them talk about Coyote Pass at least for last season. Is it two seasons now? They've been talking about trying to sell it. Let it go. Well, no, Janelle was out there for a while. It doesn't matter. It's been years. It's been years. Forget the seasons of the show. We know they've been trying to sell it for years. I love that Meri and Janelle are not playing. And I'm glad that Kody realizes that it's awkward. So that is it, you guys. That is my recap for this episode. Of course, if you have any opinions, go ahead and leave those down below. I definitely felt like this one was all over the place. I feel like we're just pulling at things to talk about. And really, I'm okay with it. It just makes it a little bit more weird when it comes to making a video about it and recapping it. But overall, I enjoyed it. It wasn't my favorite episode, but it was okay. I do appreciate, though, this is one thing I want to mention before I go. I really appreciate that the people that are putting together this show realize that we're on to Kody and Robyn. And they also know what we're looking for. Like, I think the painting, the crystal glasses, and the way Kody responded to her cleaning them, I think they're doing that on purpose. We're seeing the dolls. We're getting cameos from dolls that are put in curio cabinets in different parts of the room. Yeah. They know what they're doing. I appreciate it. But that is it for this video, you guys. If you haven't already, I hope you'll click like and subscribe and come back to Happily Ever Reality.
Since then to now, it's got weird as, I can't even say words about how weird it's gotten.